Ultimate Transport. Hey, we want to get back with you as we promised to discuss the ELD mandate. A lot has happened since our last video, and we want to take the opportunity to talk about those things, to discuss our findings, to also answer some of the questions that have been posed, to talk about what we're going to do moving forward and how that will affect you, and the educational piece to help you as we continue along this path. As we said in our last video, we were in the process of converting the entire fleet from the AOBR to the ELDs. I'm glad to say that that has been completed. We've converted our fleet to the electronic logging devices that meet the mandate that comes into place the middle of December. Great job to everyone out there who completed the training and went through the conversion process. We found many things through the conversion process, some good, some not so good. Today we want to talk about those items. Items like conversion error messages, yard move, and personal conveyance. At this time I'll turn it over to Jess so she can discuss exactly what we found as we walk through that process.
Hi everyone. So just a few things that we've encountered since switching over to the ELD setting. One of the things that you're noticing, before it was the 5-minute increment on your logs, now it's down to seconds. So as soon as you start moving, it's going to put you on the drive line or on duty. Another big thing is editing your own logs, which that's in your certify tab, and we will have some links at the bottom of the video in order to edit your own logs, and also you can give us a call if you should have any questions in regards to that. Another thing too is what we're seeing is personal conveyance. You want to make sure when you're using personal conveyance that you're putting comments in there letting us know what that you're using the personal conveyance for, and also that we're using it in the proper ways. And like Eric said, we're also test piloting yard movement, which we've been keeping an eye on that, seeing what drivers are using it for. So our hopes are to get the yard movement turned on for the entire fleet here very shortly.
You know, the yard move is something that we have received a lot of calls on, and we've done a lot of work to go in and see exactly what's best for the fleet and the best way that we could put that piece into place. About 30 to 50 individuals volunteered to turn that on, to utilize it so that we could see the good, the bad, and the ugly. I want to talk about a couple of things that we did see and make sure that the misconceptions are distilled. First of all, yard move is not the replacement for creep mode. It is not. Yard move will start your 14-hour clock. I want to say it again, and I want to be perfectly clear. When you use yard move, it starts your 14-hour clock. So if you need to use yard move, hey, by all means, use it as long as it's being used properly. However, understand that when you do a change of duty status to go to yard move, it will start that 14-hour clock, and there's nothing Jess or anyone else in logs can do about that. The second thing I want to talk about is making sure that you log off of your OmniTrack system if you're on the yard. So let's say you come to the yard and you're going to go in to see your DM or safety, or you're just going to do your 34-hour restart. When you do, make sure you log out of the system, and here's why. If you log out of the system, you don't have to worry about unassigned drive time being tagged to you when you're not driving the truck. Let me give you an example. You come to Roaring Springs, Ellenwood, Bedford. You're going to do your 34-hour restart here. You get in your truck, you rest, you decide you want to go down to Walmart, or you want to go down to the Golden Eagle to get some good old home cooking. When you leave your truck, someone from the shop says, hey, this truck is out there and it needs to be washed, or it's very close to a service, so they pull it into the bay for the service. That just created unassigned drive time. And because you did not log out of the system, that unassigned drive time is assigned to you. Make sure that you understand it's critical to log out of the system when you reach the yard, whether that's Ellenwood, Roaring Spring, or Bedford. We've also gone in and we've created what we call ghost accounts. Let me explain what those do, because it is necessary for the shop to move your truck, whether that's for service or for washing. We even had an instance where the truck was moved because at a particular yard they were respraying the parking lines and they didn't want the overspray to get on the truck. So the truck was moved. If yard move or a truck is moved, then we can now move some of that. You move that yard move time under yard move under a shop, Bedford, shop, Eldenwood, shop, Roaring Spring, to reassign the unassigned drive time if the unassigned drive time was created by a member from the shop. A lot can be avoided if you ensure to log out of the system when you leave your truck. The last thing I want to talk about is the importance of being patient when you're changing your duty status. One of the things that just brought to my attention is because of the delays of logging into the system. You know, in Roaring Spring, sometimes we don't get the best internet reception in the world. The cell reception can be kind of slow. So make sure when you go to log on, you change your duty status, push a button and give it time to react. One of the things that we found was individuals were pushing the button 2 or 3 times because the system was not reacting. And when it finally caught up, because it had been pushed multiple times, it went ahead and accepted that unassigned drive time. It takes an entire process for just to go in and create and fix that, which in turn delays you from doing what you need to do. I guess what I'm trying to say is be patient with the system. You'll win in the long run. Jess, I think we've covered much of what we found during this process.
Yes, we have.
If you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, or anything else that you find, right here on the bottom of the screen is the email address to our log department. Email us that information. If you have any pictures, which we've seen, send those to us as well. We will add those to our list of FAQs, frequently asked questions, and we will post those on TransFlow. We will also be distributing those out to make sure that everyone understands what to do and what not to do. Also, I want to give kudos to our Smith Safety Committee who met yesterday and came up with a ton of suggestions. Also to the Presidential Advisory Board for all the work that they've done as well to help us to get through this very, very tough transition. There's still a lot to come, but thank God we've made it through the conversion period. Now we've got to get all the bugs and kinks out before we meet the mandate date of December the 16th. Thanks for all you've done and all that you continue to do to make Smith one of the most successful trucking companies in America. We'll see you.